I think one of the biggest misconceptions about success is that there's one form of success, that there's one success for everybody. There's one metric, there's one attainment of it. If you have X, you are successful. If you don't have X, you are unsuccessful in life, in relationships, in business, with money, with cars, with a house. Like in every category, I could apply that to, right? If you're not married, right? Marriage equals success. If you're not married, you're not successful, right? Because how could you be successful in life and in relationships if you're not married? Right. And so I think that's some big misconceptions, both from a society standpoint. There's things that just as a society in the US in particular, where here is what the image of success is, and then here is what it's not. Owning a home is success, renting is not success, right? Having this kind of car is success, having this is not, right? Making this much money, and so on, just down the list. And I think the first thing is that the biggest misconception about success is that there is one rule and then everyone else is playing that same game. And I think that's a huge misconception and a huge mistake. I think fundamentally going back to kind of self-awareness, who you are, what you want to do, and what success means to you, right? Which is why when you asked me that, my answer wasn't like, here's what I think success is for everybody. I have what I think it is, but here's where I think fundamentally it is. And then it's up to you. I think each person has to determine what success means to them. And that's hard because we're never taught that. Most people aren't taught that as a kid. Most people aren't taught that growing up. We're not taught that in school. We see things on TV. We see movie stars. We see celebrities. We see famous people. We see athletes, musicians. We see all these people and we say, wow, that's success. That person's successful. They have what we want, right? We see some person that has a lot of money. When we're growing up, we say, oh, that's success. I either have that or I don't. But we don't know how to create that vision of success for ourselves and the rules of our own game. What does that mean to me? When I go to bed tonight, when I look at my day, was it a success? Right? Most people say, well, did I make this much money? Or did I do this thing? Or did I do that thing? And that might be part of it, but what really does it mean? And if so, what are you doing each day to make that happen? So I think that's the first misconception about success is that there's one size fits all, and here's what it is. The other misconception about success, which again kind of goes back to our tribal society, is that most people, and I'll say I fell into this trap for a long time, and it still flares up from time to time, is that you look at other people and you think they're successful. And then you say, well, I don't have that, so I'm not successful. Kind of like what I was saying about celebrities or people who are rich or they're married or they have a house or, they have a lake house, they have a vacation house, they have a second house, they have a bunch of cars, they have this, they get to go on these vacations. Like everything seems perfect in the world. They have great kids. Everything seems great. Here's the thing is nobody has all of their stuff together in every category. Now, I'm not saying and trying to throw stones at someone who's successful, right? They've got a great business, they make lots of money, so there must be something else wrong in their life. I'm not saying that at all, right? Like, I think there's people out there who are doing great in lots of categories, but their life isn't perfect in all categories, right? Nobody is immune to life. Nobody's immune to illnesses in the family, death in the family, financial issues, mistakes, challenges, problems, a broken down car, right? Like nobody is immune to life, capital L, life. And so one of the misconceptions about success is you see somebody on the surface and you go, wow, that person's successful. Their life seems so great. I'm looking at my life. My life has these challenges, these issues, and they're successful and I'm not. One of the biggest things I heard, and whether you're religious or not, this is a great thing to keep in mind. I heard this from Pastor Stephen Furtick. He said, don't compare other people's highlight reels to your behind the scenes. Meaning, don't compare what you see on social media, which is just everyone's highlights of their life. Very few people actually post all of the crap going wrong in their life or the things they're unhappy about. Don't compare social media. Don't compare when you're driving around, you see someone in an expensive car or nice clothes or on a fancy vacation. Don't compare what you see as their highlights to your behind the scenes. And again, not to disparage somebody else and say they must have all these problems and maybe they're in a terrible relationship. No, but just be fair, because what do you have that's going well and what is successful for you? And understand that everybody has something they're dealing with, either right now in this moment, or they just got done dealing with something that was very unpleasant or unfortunate. Everyone is going through something in some part of their life, and just come from a place of empathy and understanding, like, they've got this, who knows what else is going behind the scenes. And so it's not fair to compare what I know of my story. And I have found that that's really helpful from a mental health and wellness standpoint when it comes to that comparison that happens, or what you think you should be doing, right? The should word, and where you should be, or what success should look like. And just, again, playing your own game is really the key.